Welcome to Sensational Views. This is your girl, Sensational. The topic of today is no other than Trick Daddy. Now, I really was trying to avoid even getting into this or even telling this story, but this guy, he just keeps running his little wrinkled raisin lips and keep coming out here saying stuff about women and having the audacity to even talk about women and what he likes. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell my story. And this is actually not allegedly. So I have actually crossed paths with no other than TWD himself. Okay. I met him. And this is how the story begins. This was when I was in my 20s. And this was when he was in his prime. Okay. So the whole him coming out talking about, oh, he wants his women to be younger than 35 and because over 35, I guess it's over the hill, and those women be asking for too much and all that stuff. Okay, hush, shut up, talking about what you want. You look like a California raisin. At this point, you should not be talking about what you want. And my whole point is, back when I was in my 20s, I never found you attractive. I never found Trick Daddy attractive. Nobody found Trick Daddy attractive besides my friend at the time. So my friend, she was infatuated with Trick Daddy, and I did not understand that to the life of me, what she seen in him. But anyway, he ended up coming to my hometown. So I'm one of those people that I'm very determined. So it's like anything I want, I just have the mindset is I can get. So since she's being my friend and she said that she actually she was a fan of Trick Daddy or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get you in his proximity. And it was kind of like a joke, but I was for real. But anyway, lo and behold, I was able to pull some strings and I was able to get her in his presence. And I was like, well, there you go. Take it from here. And she did. She never got involved with him, but she got involved with somebody in his entourage. Okay, which led to her being able or was invited to a lot of their events that they would have at the club. Now, mind you, this was him in his prime when he was TWD, Trick Love the Kids, let the top down, let the sun come in, Trick Daddy, okay? This is before he looked like he was filled with embalming fluid and looked like he was going, if a needle or anything get close to him, all that fluid he got in his face, all that pus he got in him would explode. This is before that, okay? Like I said, I never found him attractive at all. Um, and I never understood what her mind capacity was. I was like, well, what you see, why you like? But anyway, like I said, she was able to mess with somebody that was in his entourage. So she was able to be invited to these events. Um, a lot of the events I didn't go with her because I had to work. But she would call me on the phone and she would tell me, she would talk to me through the whole events during the time frame, just that, just to have somebody there, just in case anything went awry. I was on the phone, I could, tell the tale. But anyway, everything pretty much was okay. She was at one event and they started having a pew pew incident go on. So that really kind of shook her up or whatever. But um, fast forward, let me get to it. When I actually had an interaction with him and met him. Um, so we ended up meeting him at his hotel. And this was during the day, so it was nothing weird, like no type of Diddy stuff or whatever. Because they were just checking in or whatever. So I was able to go and see the hotel room or whatever. This is in broad daylight. It was a couple of girls with us or whatever. Like I said, I had no attractions to him or any of his entourage, anybody he was around. None of them was my speed. Okay. So I made sure that I stayed in the living room part, and didn't, venture off in any type of room because I didn't want anybody to think anything. Okay. So I'm just, a plus one to my friend. That's it. So, I remember she went into one of the bedrooms, I guess like to look around the hotel or whatever. And, she comes back and she tells me immediately, she was like, he has his luggage, his clothes, instead of in a luggage bag and a suitcase, he has it in garbage bags. And now this part, I guess you could say allegedly, because I didn't see it with my own two eyes, but I'm taking my friend's word for it, okay? But anyway, so he travels around with his clothes in garbage bags, and this was in his prime. Okay, now, let me see where I'm going at with this. Okay, so I at this time, um, I can't remember like a lot of details, but I can always remember how a person made me feel. So now I was never like uncomfortable or whatever meeting him. He wasn't I didn't feel like I was would have a threat to me or anything. I didn't feel like he was gonna touch me or ravish me or anything like that. I didn't get that from him or the people that he hung around. Um I did notice that he is fresh. So I did notice that he had a attraction to me, and he would say stuff, but it was like a kind of a kitty like type thing. And that's what I wanted to say. His intellect is not on par. It reminds me of somebody who, if you had maybe a family member or somebody that you knew went to jail young, like maybe when they were 18 or something like that, and then fast forward they get out like 5 years later, and they're just trying to get adjusted to the world, and with electronics and cell phones and stuff like that, they're just not on par. And so to me, talking to him or speaking to him, it just seems like it was like speaking to like maybe a 10-year-old boy or something like that. It was just like, okay, yeah, he just wasn't on my level. And I'm in my 20s, and at this time, you do the math. He's older than me. So and I like I said, so I didn't find no attractions outwardly or inwardly with him. So, you know, I kind of, I stayed my distance or whatever. Like I said, we had, a small, conversation or whatever, because we're in the same, room with him, and his people. But yeah, like I said, he's not bright. He's not intelligent. So what you see is, what you get. And as far as all these years later, it seems like there was no growth with him. He still seems to be, special like he was back then when I met him. But yeah, so for like I said, I didn't see nobody breaking down doors to try to get at him when he was in his prime. Okay. Not saying that, I know women will throw themselves or whatever. Like I said, I had a friend, you know, I guess if he would have talked to her, she would have talked to him instead of the entourage or whatever that he was with. But it couldn't be me. I never found it. I never seen him like, no. And as far as him, you can tell that he has a nasty attitude. Um, and he can get, slick in the mouth or whatever. Of course, I didn't see that, but I can feel it that, that's him. Um, I don't know why he left or why the relationship ended with his wife Joy, but he should have kept his wife Joy because yeah, she's bad. She was a pretty woman, and that's somebody that he should have stayed with because us women, we will stick around with somebody. And fast forward us today, him and how he looks, she would have been okay with it. You would have had somebody with you instead of being out here in the field talking about you single and ready to mingle looking like that. The man looks like Slimer from Ghostbuster. Most accurate picture is him looking like the California raisin, and he has the nerve to part his wrinkled raisin lips, and say what he want out here. And my whole thing is, you wasn't cute in your prime, and you definitely not cute afterwards. Okay, you was scary looking. You should not at all be talking about what you want. You should be happy for anybody, and I mean anybody, that wants to actually be. I don't even know who would want to be. I wouldn't even want to be friends with. But anyway, anybody who would actually want to talk to you, you should be happy about that. Whatever age, whatever you can get. Because I don't know anybody in their right mind who will want to talk to that. I don't know anybody that's over 35 or under 35 who will want to talk to somebody with those lumps and bumps in his face. And I know that he supposedly has some kind of disease. I don't know, sickle cell or lupus, or I don't know what's going on with him, but obviously it don't look like he maintains his health very well. And yeah, no, I don't think so. So I just wish he really would stop talking about what he want and just take what he can get. Okay. And yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I really was trying to tell this story. Also, I end up finding out that he's actually entwined in my family. And I was like, why? But yeah, I'm not gonna say too much more about that. But yeah, I found out that he's in my family just recently. Yeah. But if you have any comments you would like to leave on Mr. TWD and how he's out here thinking that he is genuine, the before and not even the after genuine that's falling off the stage, but for some reason he think that's what he look like. But yeah, if you have any comments on TWD and should he have a preference? Should TWD be out here thinking that he should get what he wants? That he should be having his preference. I mean, everybody should have a preference, but should he be, satisfied with what he can get, or should he be out here looking for the next Beyonce that's under 35? Well, make sure you subscribe if you align with anything that what I have to say. Other than that, see you guys next time because I got things to do.
Let's go! Hurry up, get the news. Hurry up, I have things to do. This is just my sensational news.